something is doable, but you can't do it like sharing my screen. Fucking
You can
annoying.
you can share your screen. Wait, let me fix this one. Display capture.
What you
Uh,
said?
what did you say?
I said, bro, like I know sharing my screen is possible,
Mm.
but I can't find it. That's annoying as fuck.
Ah, there is the one. That's the one. Okay, Telegram.
I'm not good with technology, bro.
Yeah. Well, I have some trouble with it too. But wait, why isn't it? What? Window capture. Telegram. Ah, there you go. Okay, so that's the one. All right. So what I was going to show you. Let me share my screen again. Screencast. Let's see this one. Share screen. It's meanwhile it's uploading our previous episode. So yeah. So what I was going to show you. Look at this, man. You were talking about the Soviets earlier. That was the connection that I missed. I forgot.
Yeah,
So
we
there's
said
the
like I said like the Soviets didn't create anything, but just construct on the prison system, which was like a tribe, all tribe, but bowing under one control. You know.
yeah. So what I was going to show you. So first off, we have the Y-DNA haplogroup EV13, right? So this is what characterizes the Pelasgian, allegedly at least, what characterizes the Pelasgian gene pool, right? So this haplogroup is most dominant in Greece, Albania, and Kosovo, and Kosovo has the greatest how do you say a percentage of this haplogroup. Okay, but this is allegedly this is connected. This has been connected to the Pelasgians, right? And then look at this. There is a Wikipedia article about the EV13 Iron Curtain Trail. So this is a trail that's being used for bicycle races across Europe, all the way from Norway down to Romania, and it follows the borders of the Soviet powers, right? But it doesn't include because Albania was also Soviet, so it actually should go this way,
They
right?
call it the Iron Curtain Trail. What is
Yeah,
it?
but they not only call it the Iron Curtain Trail, they call it the EV13 Iron Curtain Trail.
What the fuck?
Eurovelo,
So let me read also now.
Eurovelo.
Oh, there is a long distance cycling route. And why they call it the EV13?
It's because it's one of the 17 trails, so this is the 13th one.
Damn.
And the funny thing is, so it's the Iron Curtain Trail, so it follows the borders of the former Soviet Union, but it what it suggests to me is that the Soviet Union was created to create this Balkanization effect, right? To split up the Balkans. Well, and not just the Balkans, obviously, because they did the same in Russia, they did the same in Poland, they did the same in you name it, right?
Mhm.
But to create all these different, to isolate these countries from each other, and to start creating and fermenting like national identity, especially in the weaker ones. Now the funny thing is, Greece is excluded from this. So Greece never had communism. We never had communism, and that's why Greece is like and obviously I think there's a reason for that. Because obviously they wanted to preserve Greece's democratic status, let's say, as the founders of democracy and this and that. So I think there were agreements that prevented the Soviets from taking Greece as well. But that the result of that is that Greece still is the only country for, well, not the only probably, but we have a very powerful communist party in Greece.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it's one of the last country who have it.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to say, and Greece still, for some reason, still have this how do you say, this obsession with Russia. They believe that Russia will come and save us from the Turks and this and that. We don't even know, we don't even realize that the Russians and the Turks are basically the same thing.
Yeah, maybe because there's a history with the Turks and shit, no?
Yeah, yeah. The reason is there's multiple reasons for that. One of them is that um, Greece and Russia are both Orthodox countries, so obviously Greece partly identifies with the Russian identity, Orthodox identity, and they believe that they are allies, which is nothing could be further from the truth. The Russians have their own interests, and not only that, they've fucked over our interest, our own history so many times that we should have already like you know yeah, it's just it's nonsense, but at any rate. So the thing is, like with Albania, right? Albania has been a communist country for I don't know how many years, maybe like 50 years or something. Well, maybe I'm overstating it. Wait. Let's see. Communist state. People's Socialist Republic of Albania. Um, ah, okay, so 30 years. Not that long, actually. So first, when they founded the country, they had a monarchy with the House of
But that
Struggle.
was really bad.
Sorry?
That was 30 years, but really bad, bro.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Like they were starving, and not like when communism fell, when Hoxha's regime fell, they immediately started migrating abroad, and the first target obviously was Greece. So the
Like
borders
that guy
opened
who
with
built
Greece.
all the bunkers and shit, he was crazy, bro.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hoxha was pretty extreme, yeah. But it's not the only case. Like Romania was also pretty extreme, and Romania was, they well, it's a different story. It's you know, but
Yeah,
um, but in any case, like all of the Balkans except for Greece, all were under communism, and Greece was isolated. I think that's the reason why Greece is still like, in my opinion, in my analysis of the situation, I think Greece is the actual problem country in the Balkans, because we lack that perspective. We haven't gone through that level of debasement and slavery. Let's say we claim we did, yeah, and we claim
but
we
I don't
believe
know.
that the Ottomans did that to us, right? But
Maybe
that's
I,
so far back
maybe
that
I,
we have no idea.
maybe I mistook. It's a mistake from me, but as I see Greece, I mean, from a French guy, for us, like Greece is like just like Spain and Italy. It's just a European Occidental country,
Mm, yeah.
where uh, where Albania is or Croatia is not.
Yeah, it's considered
You know,
more like Arabic or something like that.
Albania definitely like Balkanic Muslim,
Mm.
and then Croatia is like European but slave
Well, Croatia is
Slavs.
more. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No.
So we're like, but Greece, like for us, is like for us Greeks are like European. They have internet, Netflix, and they play video games, and they wear jeans, and like they're just like a child of the same society than us.
Mm. True.
They live in peace and stuff
Allegedly,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we
Not
have a lot
like
of
the
similarities with the French in that sense because we fight the police a lot.
because what?
We fight the police a lot. We're a
Yeah.
lot
Oh,
like the
you have
French in
the
that regard. Yeah.
yeah. Like you are very riotic people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. We like to do that a lot. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like whatever the state does, you're gonna find something to say. If they if they lower the retreat age, you riot, and
yeah.
if they upgrade, if they upper the retreat age, you riot too. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
exactly. But
yeah, it's a sin. I think it's come from the because in France the Communist Party was very big at the socialists, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and Communist Party was very big at one point because France was basically a big factory at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
you know, huh?
Yeah. Many countries were. Greece wasn't. Can you believe that Greece was like in the 20th century, from let's say from after World War II, we actually we had a boom. We had like an economic boom, and so
From
people were.
tourism or like
I'm not exactly sure where that came from, but suddenly we had like everyone had a lot of money and were very wealthy and very like but also very isolated. So when the borders opened and the Albanians started coming into Greece, we were like, who are these people? And the funny thing is, like, so first off, what happened is we started noticing that we were speaking the same language, because up till that point, until the 80s, well into the 80s, Arvanite was still very dominant in Greece. We have no idea how recent that still was.
yeah, like the
Um,
language you're saying.
hmm, Albanian.
That's
Yeah, it was an Albanian dialect. There wasn't anything else. Arvanitica.
and so
Arvanitica
is
is
it
an Albanian
because
dialect.
for example, I'm telling you this example.
But we had no
For example,
idea. We had no idea that they spoke the same language across the border.
yeah, but one second.
Yeah.
Um, Here in Spain, depending on the region you go, they're gonna tell you the elder people didn't speak Spanish, but they speak this or that
Yeah.
language,
Yeah.
and those are dialects, specific local dialects, and there's nothing to do with Spanish.
Yeah.
Same in France.
Hmm.
France has all those kind of languages,
Yeah. With
and
Occitan.
so I'm asking, is it the same in Greece? Like the grandfather, like your like your grandmother, did she speak like another
Well, not
one?
my grandparents, but definitely it definitely was a thing. Yeah. Up to, as I said, right up the 80s. Here in Athens, in the capital of Greece, people were speaking Arvanitika, and they still are. Like if you
Okay.
go to the outskirts of the city,
So like,
there are
if you go
districts where they speak that language.
to you have the gypsies, they speak a kind of language.
Mm.
You go on the north, you have like the Catalan, then you have the Panocho, you have all kind of little languages, and so but you saying to me like Greek, they were speaking Arvanite, that was the thing.
Mm. Yeah. Well, not
Like, you know, in
everyone. Not
Dublin,
everyone.
in Ireland, 100 years ago, they were speaking Gaelic and not English.
Yeah.
English.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, and you had the same in Holland. They were speaking Frisian, let's say, and in I don't
Hmm.
know. Yeah. In who knows
Yeah,
what they were speaking in Germany,
with all
for
kind of
example.
little different dialects
Mm.
here and there. Like me,
For
they
sure.
all do their own slangs and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
okay,
Yeah.
so that was the Arvanite for
And then you
Arvanite
know what
language
the
for the
funny
Greek.
thing is? Like we started speaking Greek because of the Albanians. When they came to the country, people started, they noticed that they were speaking the same languages, and obviously some people saw the kinship we had with them. They look like us.
Yeah,
They
so
speak
there
the same
starts.
language,
So now,
but at the same time, a lot of the Greek Arvanite landowners and stuff who hired these people to work for them and stuff like that. They saw how poor they were and how miserable they were, and so they wanted to differentiate themselves from them, because like we're not related to these people. They're
yeah, and
like
like to be not
so.
understood too, I think. Like,
Maybe. Well, no, I think, yeah, maybe, but I think it's more like a classist thing. So they started speaking Greek to accentuate the difference. But there were still moments, there were still moments where, like, I've had Albanian friends who told me like they went to school here, and they had like a math teacher or whatever speak Arvanitika to them all of a sudden. So it's it's a complex issue because it's human nature. On the one hand, you don't want to associate with poor
Yeah, I
people.
get it. It's like
On the other
it's
hand,
remind me of
you do want to
you know
show that
today.
you understand the
Yeah,
language.
yeah, today me, I lived something really historic we that happened in my own current life in France.
Mm.
A phenomenon. The phenomenon was like, Arabs were. That was a shitty thing to be an Arab in France.
Yeah.
But I don't know how me when I came here in France in 2000, like 8, 9. You know, it was not good to be an Arab, bro.
Yeah.
There were some rappers, but they were black, so they were kind of an actors. So started to become and singers that were black. So if you're black, that's be okay.
Mm.
But if you were an Arab, bro, that was terrible. But slowly, with rap music and left wing culture, we became like the model of the society. Like the guys who had the cool guys,
Yeah.
like in the school and shit.
Hmm.
Everyone today, every young French young man who is under 20 or 22, 23, they all speak the the slang of the young, so they all, one word of two is an Arab word. Because
Yeah.
the cool guy are Arabs, they all speak like they all adapted to that culture,
Mm.
and so in reaction to that, because you have all those Arabs which are strong in their faith, because they have a belief system very, very strict, very strong, very, and they mixed with the in school and out there with the French,
Yeah.
which were socialists, let's say, no roots anymore. Their parents, their grandparents were Christian, but their parents are not. They are just like atheists. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, in reaction to that, in the 10 years between 2010 and 2024, now there's a return of Christianity in France among the young people.
Mm.
There's a big return, bro. Because there you have all these Arabs swearing all the day, wallah, wallah, wallah. And the French guy, they can't swear, so they're like now the French, when you're French, you want to swear like an Arab, you say in the name of God, au nom de Dieu.
Mm.
They say au nom de Dieu now, the French, and they became like now. If you go to high school, everyone believes in God, bro.
Interesting.
It's a standard now. The
Ah,
young, they're either Christian or Muslim, but you have to be something, bro.
interesting. That's actually good. That's good to see.
It's very
As
good.
long as
I
they
think
don't,
it's
as
very.
long as they don't start fighting each other.
That's the problem, bro.
Yeah.
That's why it's a problem. That's what's happening. But I mean, in the schools, not they're good. They are all friends, and but you have this thing happening, and so in reaction to those guys who are faithful, the other one have to came up with something strong, as
Mm.
strong,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So they cannot be like, no, no, we just believe in the scientists.
Yeah.
There is this return of all the French guys, the white guys. Now, because of the Islam, they go back to Christian, and now they're shitting on Islam. They should be grateful.
Yeah, they should
So
be. Yeah, that's actually an interesting way to put it. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree
yeah, it's
because it's
and it's a bit the same phenomenon as you were telling about the Greek starting speaking Greek in reaction to the.
to the
You see what I'm
Albanians.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So now
exactly.
they're starting to go back to their roots, Christian roots. They didn't give a fuck before,
Mm.
because they facing this thing,
Could be, yeah, could be, but obviously, I think it's like an overcorrection, and I think at some point it's gonna get back because it's inevitable. I don't think we can
And now,
deny.
now you have, bro, it's the big phenomenon. Now you have like young guy, they go like do the strict mass in Latin and shit.
Hmm. Yeah,
You know, they go to, they do not do Christian, they don't follow Vatican II and shit, and they do everything in Latin, and they go very strict. Like they think they're Templars and
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they go back to the Crusades and
yeah,
stuff. They're like, we eat pork and drink wine and hunt, and we're Christian. But when you talk him how you became Christian, he starts explaining you how he were working in construction with only Muslims, and you know,
well, yeah, 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 yeah.
and
I
the
mean, if
believer
you take,
mindset.
yeah,
It's a believer mindset. You became accoutumate with someone who's a believer, and then you're like, yeah, it makes sense. Like,
yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
for sure, for sure. It's an interesting thing though, because if you analyze it rationally, um, I think the only logical, because the thing is, like, I've considered Islam as well. I think it's an interesting topic. I have a lot of respect for the religion and things like that, but I
Yeah,
just
and I
can't.
think like
I can't
it
read the Quran. I can't read it in Arabic, so I'm just afraid I'm losing a lot of stuff. So basically, I need to
definitely
fall
it's
back
like
to the
none.
Bible.
It doesn't have this universal thing like Christianity have. Because so you need to read it in Arabic and shit, and so I definitely agree what you're saying, and so I think today everyone go back to his own roots, and
Yeah,
that's what happens. Because when and you did that very greatly with the Arvaniticus and stuff. Because for example, that's why the first time we met, I asked you a lot of questions. I don't know if you remember about Orthodox,
yeah, yeah,
because I was like, this guy, he's Greek. He surely had got back to the Orthodox roots, and that's what is interesting. That's what I'm interesting in.
yeah. Well, I definitely grew up that way. I kind of think differently about it now because I don't. I have my misgivings about the priesthood. So I don't trust
Definitely,
the
priesthood.
priestly class.
Priesthood doesn't have a fucking sense when you think about
Yeah,
the believer. A believer. I mean, that's what annoys me a lot with the new Christian. They go back to their faith and they're like buying all about the Pope and shit. Like, bro,
yeah. The
how
Pope
can
ruined Christianity.
yeah, how can you put someone, a man who cheat and stuff, even a priest, like there's no priesthood there. I mean, you can ask to people, but there's nothing between a man and God.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I see it too.
So,
Yeah.
so
Although, yeah.
priesthood is the it's and who crucified the Christ?
Sorry.
Priesthood,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Christ
the
crucified
Sanhedrin.
the Pharisees. Yeah,
The Sanhedrin, the
the
president of the priesthood
Sanhedrin.
of the
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Yeah, the Pharisees.
So you see what I'm saying, and
And
it's the root of the religion. It's when a faith become a religion, and so became a dog, became a cult, and became something of control and bad.
yeah,
When
exactly.
there's when someone says, "I'm between redemption, salvation, I'm between God, and between the truth and you,"
Mm-hmm.
and you have to go through me to, I don't know, or I have the answers, or I know. Yeah, you got the
Yeah.
idea.
The
What
thing
you
is,
think
like,
about that?
I believe that this all started in Greece or in Constantinople specifically. So I think I've explained that theory a few times already, but
In Babylon.
uh, well, yeah, okay, maybe further back, sure, sure, sure. But what I'm trying to say is like this thing with Christianity being like
Ah, with
this
Christianity.
this
Yeah,
death cult, let's say, that started in Constantinople, and Constantinople
yeah,
is the real Rome, is the real Jerusalem and is the real
That's what that's why like most more than half the priests that signed the Nicene Council were
yeah.
Greeks.
The Nicene Council was in Greece as well. Yeah, in Nicaea.
Yeah, there were Egyptian, Syrian, but like mostly Greek
Yeah.
guys.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, and the Nicene Council plays a gigantic role in all this because before that you had all these splinters, all these different
Churches.
yeah. And for example, the Goths were Arian, and most that's even funnier. Like most cults or most Christian cults, let's say, let's call them cults for ease of reference. They didn't believe in the divinity of Christ. The Arians didn't believe that. The Manichaeans
Yeah.
didn't believe that.
Definitely. I know. You know, as a Muslim, I studied so much this Arianism because, it was for me like a confirmation when I was Muslim. Like, oh, look, the real Christian thinks like us about Jesus.
And you know who were the Arians, right? They were the Goths.
Yeah, from Arius, which stand on that council.
Yeah, and the Goths,
He
the
didn't.
Goths
He
were
didn't
fucking
sign the.
yeah. The Goths were massacred by the Roman Empire, by the Byzantines, by the Roman Empire. So it's funny
Yeah,
they say it's
and
funny
they
that they
were
say
in.
that the Roman Empire
And they
fell.
were like in does where were they? Like North Africa, France, Spain?
Yeah, those were the Visigoths in the west, and you had the Ostrogoths that were in Italy and Anatolia.
Okay, Italy, Anatolia. Okay.
Yeah. Allegedly, I think they were much further widespread than we say they were,
Mm-hmm.
and
But
actually,
and you know
because
how it's funny. I think about you the because I was reading something or listening to something, and the guy was saying because Romans are Semitic people. That was nothing. And in you see in all the movie how the Romans are depicted so Semitic, like very
yeah,
Italian.
that's
Very,
no bro, that's no coincidence either. There's like first off, there's an etymological connection, at least in my mind, between Khazar and Caesar, right? Khazar, the
yeah,
Khazars and the Kaisars.
yeah,
Caesar,
Kaiser,
etc.,
Kaiser,
etc. And
Caesar,
the
yeah.
Tsar, that's also connected. And you have so Sean Ross points out how Caesar comes from Sar, which means king in Demotic in Egyptian, right? So all this is connected. So the Caesar, this whole thing,
Mm.
it's all connected to the priesthood. So if we
And if
that's
it's
that's
Tsar,
why yeah. So that's why I
if
believe
it's
Constantinople came before Rome, right? So they founded this cult there, and they got chased out by the Crusaders and then by the Ottomans, right? And
yeah,
then they
I mean
they fled to Rome,
with the
and they founded the
recentist with
Vatican. And the Vatican created this whole Roman narrative with the Kaiser, with Julius Caesar, and all that stuff, which is no coincidence either that Julius Caesar is what I see, right? Jesus Christus. It's the same initials.
yeah, but
So they created this narrative
mm,
um, to legitimize the Vatican, the Roman Empire.
yeah,
Because before that
because
they were part of a much larger empire, and I think so. As I've explained, my theory is that there was one empire, but it split in two in Europe, right? Europe was the meridian where it got divided. But actually, if you take the globe, or if you wanna, as the disc is also fine,
for
but
me you
it
have
connects
only
it
one
connects
way.
through Siberia across the Bering Strait to America, back to Spain, and that so the
Spain, right?
the the Visigoths were like the Moorish, the Berbers, the Spanish Empire, this
Yeah,
the Al Andalus, and then the Ostrogoths were the Ottomans, and then Tartaria and all that stuff, and it goes all the way to the
yeah.
American West Coast.
You know how the blacks they were not only in Africa but in America,
In Europe,
and how the and
all
when
the
you
way in
see the
Germany.
Mexican there when you see the white, yeah, like you can see today they because they say the Indian. like native Indian of USA disappeared, and they still in like reserves, or I don't know how to say, like they are in parks, but there are not a few of them.
Yeah.
You know, like the Sioux, the Dakota, the this and the Cherokee, the this and that. But if we see like there's both yeah, there's two kind of native people, let's say three kinds. You have the whites, the blacks in America, and you have like mixed white, black, and like Asian. You can see there have Asian traits too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But you can
And
see
so you
you
can
have
see they come from Mediterranean. For all the ones who look like Arabs, you can see Brazilian, they look Arab as fuck.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, and yeah, I can see
Hey,
the thing
Mexicans
about
even use Arab names, dude. Salma
yeah,
Hayek.
yeah, you can, and they look fucking.
I
I
don't
mean,
think she's
you
Mexican,
know,
by
I
the way,
watch a
but yeah.
lot of MMA. I'm like a big fan of jiu-jitsu and MMA, and so I watch it all. And Brazilian is the main country. Brazil is the main country of the sports. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, half the fighters of MMA are Brazilians.
Yeah,
And by the way, half of them are not like Brazilians, but they are like Amazonians, and
yeah.
that's amazing
Mhm.
because they have like something in their DNA, bro, or something. I
Check
don't know.
this out.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I believe
Saint
100%. I
Maurice.
believe the Europe was a cosmopolitan
Yeah, of
country
course, of
just
course,
as
of course.
today.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Hey, you know what Saint Maurice, right? Saint Maurice. You know what that means? The name
No, but now I
Maurice.
think, yeah, Maurice for sure.
You
Maurice,
know what the
he's a
meaning is
Moor.
of yeah, yeah, exactly. But Maurice comes from Greek, from Mavrikios, which comes from Mavros, which means black. Saint
Yeah,
Maurice is just a black saint.
and more, but more means black and
Of course, yeah,
Maurice.
it comes from the same root. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you
definitely.
have the
And
Legion of Thebes, right?
you have Dumas, Alexandre Dumas.
Yeah.
That's another story, but he was black, bro.
Wait, where was this picture? Here, the Legion of Thebes, all black, and they were allegedly brought over from Egypt, allegedly by the Romans, to fight not the pagans, to fight the the Celts in Switzerland, and
Yeah.
they refused to fight them because they were Christian, and so they were allegedly they were decimated. So the whole Legion of Thebes allegedly is considered to be a martyred a martyred legion. So they were sanctified as martyrs, and their leader was Saint Maurice. And the thing is about that whole story, there's just something off with the Legion of Thebes and Saint Maurice. Something doesn't add up. I think they were the Templars. Mind Unveiled had done a video about them as well. It's funny because it was like the Christmas special that he made in 22, I think. And it was about the Legion. Well, it was like he talked about the Moors at some point, and he associated the Moors with the Templars. Um, so they got decimated. They got destroyed. They got fucking killed by the Roman Empire, by the Inquisition, and then they got martyred. They so and that's exactly what I was talking about the other day. I don't remember if that was with you or with whatever. But what the Vatican actually was doing was they created the Inquisition had two goals. First, to kill the infidels, but then second, to take their bones and stuff and make relics out of them and create saints. So so this whole story about the Roman persecution of the Christians was done by the Vatican itself, by the Christians themselves, by the Vatican. Right? They persecuted the Christians, and then they create the in the same, uh, you know, in the same act, they created new saints by killing people. And then they pretend that they believed the same that the Vatican believes, and that they were persecuted by the Romans who were pagans. But they're the pagans. They're the ones that are doing all this. If that makes sense. You're muted, man.
Yeah, it's messy, bro.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a big
It's
mess.
difficult to say. You think the Templar were black?
Well, not all of them per se, but I think there's something to be said for the Templars having been the Legion of Thebes, because they were in Egypt. You know, they were doing their research and their archaeological stuff in Egypt. So yeah, I think the Templars were the Legion of Thebes.
I think uh, I think maybe it's just a reference for their knowledge,
For
coming from Egypt and stuff.
the reference for what?
It can be a reference like they are from Thebes because Thebes is it refers to the Egyptian knowledge and
Mm,
stuff.
mm.
Then I definitely think for sure, there were Greek. I mean,
Yeah, and
if
I mean,
Templar, I don't know.
it's also
There
what
were
David
there were for sure
Ewing's.
blacks,
Yeah, it's also
black
what David
Templars. That's
Ewing's.
not it was not like a black thing. There
No, no,
were
no, no,
blacks,
no.
just like
I
there
don't
were.
think so either. I don't think they were all black. But the thing is, what I do think is that, for example, you have Benjamin Franklin, right? And he's complaining about the black Palatines. I can show you the reference. Black Palatines, Benjamin Franklin. Right? He's talking about the German immigrants who weren't white, and he's saying that the Saxons are the only white race, and that we finally, he's complaining. Oh wait, why does that not show up? He didn't consider the Europeans to be white. He said the Saxons are the only white race, and we finally found our new homeland where we can thrive as a white people. And now we have those those black Germans coming to destroy our country with their German language and their black German customs, and not just the Germans, the Dutch as well, and things like that. So they were all considered at that time. They were all considered to be black. What's happening there? And there's, you have this channel, you have Curimeo Ahau, he's talking about that, and he is explaining how, for example, the Spanish Moors were expelled from Spain and they fled to Holland, among other places. Where in Holland they were welcomed because they were fighting the Spanish and because the Dutch were Protestant. But Protestant is just a code name for something we no longer understand, and I think that's what David Ewing Jr. is also pointing out, that they were actually Muslim. So I think they had more in common with the Moors than even like the sources that Curimio is mentioning are aware of. So the so they were welcomed into Holland, and from Holland they founded the Dutch East India and West India companies, and they went to America, and that's how all these Moors in America show up, all the Ladinos and stuff that were speaking Arabic, and that use Arabic names with Spanish surnames.
Oh, you think yeah, it's with the Dutch, bro. You're right.
And that's just part of the
You're
story,
right.
obviously, because
They
you had
flew from Germany to Dutch, and then from Dutch to to the world.
yeah. Hmm.
They were like
Uh,
black nobles. That
yeah, yeah,
was the all the black Dutch guys.
yeah. And then you have the
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah.
Allegedly, where they came from, the black Dutch guys, do they have like an African origin, or do they give
Well,
them like they
that's
come
no,
from
no,
this
no. They came
country,
from
or they?
Spain. They came from Spain. They were Moors from Spain,
Okay.
and they fled Spain and they went to Holland, and well, and I think they went to other places too. I think they also went to Britain and Ireland. So we know that the Palatines also fled to Ireland, and they were persecuted. They were persecuted in Germany as well. the Palatines, right?
As
So,
blacks.
well, they don't. Um, we don't know, like, but they.
But I think what I think myself, because we talking about black and white people, I think it was cosmopolitan, just like today you say an American, but an American can be a black or a Spanish, a Latino
Mhm.
or an
But
Indian.
yeah, but look at this. Okay, so the Palatines are my favorite. Like, it's such a weird, mysterious topic, man. So first off, the name Palatine, right?
Go up, like up,
Check this
up.
out. Check this out. A paladin, an imperial knight. The Palatines, the name of the
Oh
Palatines
yeah,
comes
the
from,
Paladin. I know the
yeah,
Paladin.
it
Yeah,
comes from Charlemagne. They were Charlemagne's knights. They were
yeah.
like the elite of the elite, the cream of the crop. They were so powerful. Like they were Jedi. Dude,
Uh,
they were roaming nobles, so they were allowed to go anywhere they pleased and
Look at
just
the
and just
outfits. Look
arbitrate
at the. Can you?
among people.
I mean, I can help myself but notice that Wikipedia always choose the dopest pictures, bro,
Yeah.
and
But
that
also,
make a lot of
we
sense.
have the
And Charlemagne, Charlemagne and Solomon and the flag of bird, like we can see, like it's referring to Solomon too.
yeah, we have the
And,
double-headed eagle. We have that symbol in Albania too. We have it in the Byzantine Empire, obviously, and
a
in
double.
the Russian Empire, right? But what does this? Okay, so remember what David Ewing Jr. said about the Palestines, about Poland, what was it again? Polenstein and
Polish style.
the Polish and the Palestines and the
Polystyrene
Palatines and the
and Stein is the stone, and polish is to polish the stone. So
okay, that might be,
it's an
yeah,
alchemical.
yeah.
It's an alchemical. So a Polish guy,
Mm.
he's a polisher and
He's
shit.
a polisher of stones. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Polish states.
Yeah, exactly. Now, but what he was saying is basically what it comes down to is the Palestines and the Philistines and the Palestines and the Palatines. This is a global phenomenon. We're not talking about like a people. The Palatine, the sorry, the Palestinians that we have now. That's just a euphemism that's being used for these people. But what we're really talking about, the Palatines, are a warrior class, the knights, the chivalrous, the paladins, and they had oaths of faith. They had a code of conduct that they had to follow, and
Yeah.
they were arbiters. They went around the world,
They knights.
solving disputes.
They are knights.
Yeah,
They knights.
knights errants. Yeah,
Chevalier, cavalry. It's
yeah,
cavalry. You're
knights
talking
errant.
about the cavalry values right now,
Exactly, exactly.
like
So that's all
going
they were.
around.
It wasn't an ethnic thing. It wasn't their ethnicity or their nationality. Palatines. It
Yeah,
was they were a class, and
it
obviously
was.
the Rhineland.
It's like you say. It's like you say today. A welder.
Yeah, but so the way I see it is our whole history. And if you read Julius Evola, for example, he'll confirm that for you. Our whole history has been the story of the conflict between the Philistines and the Pharisees, the Palestinians and the Israel, the Jews, the the um, the knights and the priesthood, the Guelphs and the Ghibellines, what was another term? Um, the and so on. So it's all the same roots of the same word. So the warrior class against the priestly class, and you have the same. It goes all the way to India, right? In India, you have the kshatriyas and the brahmins, and the kshatriyas are technically above the brahmins, but the brahmins are constantly trying to claw away at that power and trying to assert their dominance, right? So the warrior class, they're the aristocracy, right? The real aristocracy has always been the warrior class, right? All the princes, all the kings, all the
Yeah, the
knights and
nobles
the
were
nobles.
were the ones who fight in the war,
Yeah, exactly.
and the king was in the front row leading the troop.
Yeah, and the priestly class, the thing is like the
It's
priestly.
like the king was the strongest warrior of them all.
Well, maybe not always, but there's like he
I'm
was
just
maybe
saying.
maybe he
I'm
was a
just saying.
tactician, or maybe he's more virtuous, or maybe. But the thing is, like, there was a mentality of having faith in the king and things like that. So, like, his flaws would be how do you say, would be complemented by his servants, by the knights, right? They would. It's like this, King Arthur and the search for the Holy Grail, the quest for the Holy Grail. It's the same story. King Arthur himself, he got sick. He couldn't rule the country anymore, and as he
Yeah,
was dying, the country was dying as well. So he relied on his knights to find the Grail for him and things like that. And then, so it's all kind of the same story. And the knights, they do it because they believe in him. So they in his legitimacy.
yeah, yeah. And they were. It was like. It was like you cannot go on the quest if you don't believe in him, like with all your soul and blindly, because you don't know about the Grail for real. And
Yeah. But so yeah, so
it's just like it's the same story with the apostles of Jesus, or with the
oh
with the
yeah.
prophets and the one who follow them.
Oh, for sure. That's interesting that you point that out, because you have this whole Grail mythos that's based on the bloodline of Jesus
I mean,
Christ and stuff. So that's
yeah,
you
I
have
I've thought
Joseph of
to be
Arimathea, who was a knight. He was a Roman legionnaire. He took the blood of Christ in the Holy Grail,
yeah.
and he allegedly escorted Mary Magdalene to Britain. And some say to
Hmm.
Britain, some others say to France.
Yeah, the gypsies. I told you about the
Yeah,
pilgrimage.
exactly. Yeah, and obviously, maybe they probably went through France and then all the way to Britain. That could also be the case, or maybe
Yeah,
he
but
brought
the
her
whole
there
Da
and
Vinci
and
Code,
he proceeded on his
Da
own
Vinci
to.
Code state they stayed like in France, in
Yeah,
southern
yeah. Yeah, so
France, and
maybe he took her to France and then went on his own further down to Britain, because
yeah,
there's
I
this.
don't know, yeah,
Yeah.
and there's the whole thing for example, Portugal
Mhm.
is the port to Gaul.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, it's
And
very
it's funny
simple.
too, because that strip of
Uh,
land, it looks like a door. It's like a
is the door to land,
it's like
and
a
then you
Trevi
have,
gate.
yeah, once you pass Portugal, you have the region of Spain which called Galicia. Galicia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then Galicia, you have Gaul, Galilee,
Here,
Gaul, France,
it looks like a door.
like a door. And you know how to say door in France, in French?
A porte.
Yeah, porte.
In Greek,
It's
it's
also
porta. Yeah.
it's also a port like a ship port. On dit en français un port,
Mm.
un port. So a port to Gaul.
Mm.
And Gaul is just up there. Gaul is referring to the land of Christ. The stone, again, the Stein, the stone, Gal. And Gal, I've told you, Gal. You know how we say rooster in Spanish?
Yeah, I think you told me before, but that was also
Uh,
Gal, right?
Gallo, Gallo, G-A-double-L-O.
Mm.
Gallo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gal.
Gallo is a rooster in
Mm-hmm.
Spanish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I told you what it was in Albanian as well, right? I don't remember. I think it was Yella or something. Wait, let me see if I can confirm it. Kokoras. In Greek, it's kokoras. Let's see, where do I have it?
And what is the symbol of France? The animal?
Yell. Yeah, the rooster. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And France is just the fucking Mason name of Gaul, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But up until the
Franche.
17, if you type 17th century Europe Europe map,
It says
you will
Gallia.
find it's is 100%. You never find a 17th map which is France. It's always Gallia.
Yeah, it's always Gallia. Yeah.
Yeah, look it up of Europe. Type Europe, and you look up the French country. You know? So
Mm,
what he said there?
I'm trying to figure it out. Let me see if I can open this up a little bit. Ah, can't get any good pictures, man. Uh, but this one. This one says France though. 17th century, you said.
Yeah, when I've searched myself,
Yeah, I
you
see. I
find
see
all
on the
those
map.
maps and very accurate map. Like you can see, it's modern maps, and still it's written Gallia.
No. Yeah. Anyway, I can find it now,
Oops.
but yeah, I believe you. I mean, in Greece we still call it Gallia as well. So
Yeah,
in
and then
Greek we have
you
all the
know,
old
also
names.
I noticed stuff like when I've done my research like a time ago, and when you do the same now, it has changed.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Yeah,
say on
yeah,
Google.
yeah. I mean, that's probably some kind of AI messing
Because, for example,
with the
before,
stuff.
if you type Semitic language, you reach a wiki page which is called the Abjadic languages. It was called like just recently, like few years ago.
Mm.
It was called Abjadic languages,
Yeah,
and you can find it nowhere now.
Abjadic.
Yeah, it was Abjadic languages. Now they tell you about Abjad, but they don't tell you Abjadic languages
Mm.
is the actual category of all the Semitic languages.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Look it up, like Abjad Wiki, just under that. No,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's a writing system which only consonants are represented, leaving the vowel sounds to be inferred by the reader.
look Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Abjad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, you've told me that before. Yeah. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Yeah.
Now they call it consonantic. That now I remind. The wiki page now is called consonantic alphabets.
Hmm.
But just before it was called Abjad alphabet,
Interesting. Yeah.
and they change it, you know. And Abjad alphabet is basically the Arabic alphabet and all his derivations, which are all those alphabets. Like
Yeah.
I would not say Greek in front of a Greek because it's not. It will be disrespectful.
Sorry, come again?
I would not say it's the root for Greek, but it's all the same family. Let's say.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Nah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know
Greek does
which is
come
the first.
from Phoenician, and it had the same thing. So the Phoenician
Yeah, they all
alphabet that
came
we
from the
adopt.
same language, and
Mm,
basically you find all the same root words in those language, and you can say it was once one language.
mm.
It
And
was
it's funny
once
too
one.
because Albanian is like that too. Technically, it's no longer actually pure, but it had the same thing. And in Albanian, we
And I'm
use
sure you
we
can
use
write it
consonants.
perfectly. You can write it perfectly in Arabic.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But the Arabic was definitely used to write Albanian for sure. But we use consonants as vowels. We have like a particular way to use express a
Just
consonant
like in
that's only a
Arabic,
consonant.
in the alphabet, you just show the first letter
Hmm.
and the two last one are used as vowels too in the words.
Hmm.
So the first because it begins to the right and then it goes to the
Ah,
left. So the first is
yeah,
this one,
sorry, I got
and the
confused.
two last ones also is
The
it's
w
a
and
it's
yeah,
a u e,
yeah, yeah.
three vowels.
U E. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, what I was so in Albanian we have this one. Wait, I'll show you the. Okay, U E. In Albanian we have
It's,
the sound, right? So this one.
it's the glot. We talked about it,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, exactly.
the glotta stroke
The
strike.
diathesis. Uh,
Hmm.
it
It's
exists
like
in
a
other
iota.
languages as well.
It's
That's
the
interesting.
it's a derivation from the iota, right?
Yeah. No, 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 no. It's like the in France, in French. So the without any accents, where it's either short or you don't pronounce it. You could just
Yeah,
leave it out.
you have it a lot, I think, because when I listen those kind of languages, you have this plutter plutter. It sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So in Albanian you have that a lot, and it's like, so. But basically, what this actually is the fact that some words didn't have any vowels, so they had only consonants, and in
And
order
it's
to
funny.
pronounce them, they use this letter now.
Okay,
So, for example,
it's
the word for dream in Albanian is under, under.
it's look like Lalesh. It's look like Lalesh, la language of the bird. It's look like a mystification of the language.
Yeah,
Uh, because for example, in France, we have this play amongst the gypsies and also in the prison. So when we were young, we were playing that in school, like talking like that. It's called le javanais. Let's say like the Java
the
language,
Javanese.
and the Javanese is just to add va to all the vowels syllables you're gonna say. So if you say I am going to, you're gonna say I va gova ingving. I don't know
Yeah,
how
yeah,
to
yeah.
say, but
It's like
you're
Pig
gonna add
Latin.
it.
We do in English. You have that too, Pig Latin. So, in English, what they do with Pig Latin, what they do is they take a word. So let's say water, right? Wait, I'll put it on the screen. Water, right? And in Pig Latin, it becomes otter way. So what you do is you add a W at the end of the word, and then the first letter. Sorry, no, sorry. You add the first letter of the word at the end, and then add an A. So, they, ik pay, ink, dre, utter way, right? And that says the pig drinks water. Or wait, no, inks dre. Maybe I overdid it. Maybe inks. Yeah, rinks day. Rinks day other way. Something like that, right? So the pig drinks water. That's all this says. But you make it more complicated. That's pig Latin. Pig Latin. That's interesting too because why is it pig? Why is it a pig? It's a language name, argot or cant, in which words in English are altered usually by adding a fabricated suffix or by moving the onset or initial consonant or consonant cluster of a word at the end of the word and adding a vocalic syllable, usually a, to create such a suffix. So yeah, Pig Latin is pretty interesting. But yeah, it's mostly just a game that kids play in England and America. But you also have other such
It's exactly
cants
the
in.
same. And so it looked like the Turkic language, a lot of language are working like it's just they took a simple language and they mystifying in it just like we're talking about right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it happens here in
What you
Greece as
think?
well because we have like words that are considered ancient that for some reason sound suspiciously like Albanian words. Um, and it's just, yeah, it's, it's, there's whole tables about that. I've showed them in a previous presentation as well. Um,
Did you knew Berber? Because Berber is different than Arabic, like totally.
mhm, mhm.
And it's not like an Arabic dialect, like let's say all the let's say Sicilian or
Yeah,
it's really a language. And Berber language is actually very close to Greek,
yeah,
like the root words, not like in the on the root
interesting.
words is very close.
Check this out, by the way. This is the Elbasan alphabet. So this is an alphabet that was specifically created for Albanian, relatively modern though. And there's one single book that has been written in this script. But this is pretty fascinating, isn't it? It looks a lot like runes or like Etruscan.
Let me see what's that language, bro?
It's the Elbasan alphabet, Elbasan script.
Also, is the
It's
Albanian one?
Yeah, it's no, it was a proposal. It was like a proposed alphabet for the Albanian language. It's never been
Mm-hmm.
used. I mean, it's only been used for one book. There's one book that's printed in this script. I don't remember which one. It should be in on the
There's letter
Wikipedia page.
like the few ones look very Arabic. Like the Y is an Arabic letter,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let
uh,
me see.
and the other one look Greek.
Yeah, my computer can't even show it. But let's see. Yeah, there was an Elbasan Gospel, like a Bible version that was written in
Oh,
this
it's an
script.
old book they found, like
Hmm.
written in that. Because before, like if um how I can put it together, like if you know how language works, language is different than writing systems.
Yeah.
And so if you know languages, let's say writing system is just cryptography.
Hmm.
So it's hard to crypt information into signs. And you
Sorry,
can
coming.
have a
Yeah,
key
you
and
encrypt
you can have a
information.
key system to read it, or you can have like there's few ways. And so there's it's a whole science. It's how they make codes and Morse, and
Yeah,
they make codes for the military. It's cryptography.
yeah. It's funny too because it consists of 40 letters. So that's exactly the number of letters that I've
But
ended up
what I'm
with.
saying here is like an up let's say a monk class, as we depicted monks, because monks were like those guys, no wives, just bunch of men's in castles,
Yeah,
and they close themselves and they just with books and writings,
yeah,
and so and the rabbis, which basically mean educators, so the one who know how to read and stuff like that. And so that means, and also all Muslim countries, from Africa to Asia to everywhere, they learn how to read with the spiritual guy
yeah,
of the village.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Everyone goes, every children goes read with the Muslim guy of the village, because the Muslim guys knows the Quran and teach the people how to read and write in Arabic to everyone.
yeah,
And so those guys who knows how the writing works, if you write a book, you can choose to write it in a language, you in the writing system you can just invent,
yeah.
because you know how it works.
Yeah.
And that's what as they have done with Hebrew.
Mm.
They have took the today the all rabbinic libraries.
Mm.
I mean, the rabbinic
Yes.
libraries come from the original or Arabic books,
Yeah.
because all the rabbis were in Andalus. You
Yeah.
know, they lived in Spain and they were writing in Arabic. And when you read it, you can tell the difference between this book or a Muslim book.
Yeah. It's the same.
Because to say,
It's the same I
because
did.
to say God, because to say God, they say Allah, and to say this, they say it's Arabic. It's a Muslim book basically. It's an Arabic book which talk about Allah and everything.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing I did with my book. I created my own
Language.
script. Well, not language per se, although
Yeah,
it's
you
getting close to there
writing
because
system.
I've been yeah exactly yeah. So I have this whole table here with how I use the letters, the Greek letters, to write Albanian,
I have a
with
friend,
with a few
but I
notes as
think
well.
everyone who starts going in really deep into languages does that.
Sorry.
So everyone who starts going really deep into languages does that.
Yeah, yeah, sure. It doesn't surprise me, to be honest. It's a fun thing
I
to
have a
do as
friend.
well, you know.
I have a friend. He does the same, like to write phonetic Arabic. He just invented his own writing system
Yeah,
to phonetic the Quran. You
that's
know,
amazing. Yeah.
so you can because you can invent. So the Quran is is you use the 28 letters of the alphabet of Arabic. Okay,
Yeah.
but if now I attribute a sign to of every sound different, I can write a whole Quran in another writing system.
Mm.
And they done that. I think it's very big to understand because the and also the because it goes to the root and the nature of the writing system.
Yeah, exactly.
And writing is yeah in writing is like something magical when you think about it.
Mm.
You it's the beginning of a numeric system.
Yeah.
You encode an information into on a matter, and a little sign can encode a lot of information.
Let me show you this, by the way, dude. You'll like this. This is the script of the Ura Linda book. So those are the letters. As you can see, they're all based on a wheel, right? So you have a wheel with six spokes. It's the same symbol as
I
the.
so right now I see you, bro.
Oh, sorry, sorry. God damn it. Here you go.
Your bro just saying don't pull your hair too much because it starts.
Yeah. So here it is, and I can actually
Oh,
mostly read this. Uh,
okay. 'Cause it
dus
look like a rune
Urden
system like
moste
type shit.
min son. Sorry.
That look like a rune type
Yeah, yeah,
system,
yeah,
like
exactly. And they call this
so he.
the Yule. And you
Oh
know
my
what the
god! And
Yule
he.
is, right? Yule,
So
the Yule
I'm looking at the letters. They all constructed on a circle,
on a wheel, on a six with six
on a wheel,
spokes. Yeah, right.
on a
It's
wheel.
yeah, and yeah, exactly. And it's called the Yule script, Yule. And you have the Yule tide. You
Damn.
have the Yule, which is Christmas,
Oh
right?
my
The pagan
god.
Christmas
That guy.
thing.
That guy. He's a guy. He's a guy, bro. He knows how it works, bro.
Yeah, and it's not just that. Let's see if I can find the other one, the other page. No, I can find it
Good.
here
I that look
because they
like a
have another
grimoire type.
page. They have another page
That
with
that
the
that that, that look like grimoire. Founds I read in grimoires type shit,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Here, this is the one I was looking for. Oh,
That's what I'm
come
telling you, bro. Letters
on.
are
Here.
very deep. The
They
people
also
don't
have the numbers,
understand.
dude. Look at this. The
Yeah,
Arabic
yeah, yeah,
numbers,
right, bro.
they
Writing
fit in the same
system are
thing.
very deep.
yeah.
Oh, he put them on the wheel. Oh,
Yeah. So the
it's fun.
Uralinda claims that the Arabic numbering system is actually
This one
Frisian.
was.
It's actually invented by these guys. And it's the same. So
Damn,
zero, one, two, three,
the
four, five, six, seven, eight, nine.
yeah, the
Isn't that
four is a
crazy?
bit messy though.
Well,
Though.
it's a bit messy, but like if you look at how they try to explain the Arabic system in circles, it makes a lot more
Uh-huh.
sense the way they did it here.
Oh yeah, with
There
the
was
Hindu letters, the Arabic numbers. Do you call it?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
we
try to
call it the
explain how they
Hindu.
did that there, but I can't find it anymore. But they had a similar system for the Arabic numerals, but it's much more messy than how they did
Definitely
it in
with
the
the
Uralinda
angles
book.
and shit. I saw that, and yeah, I
Yeah, I can't
already
find it
saw that.
now, but
Can you go on YouTube? YouTube, go on YouTube, and you type.
sure.
I'm
One
gonna show
second.
you an extraordinary thing, bro.
Okay,
And you type Jorge, Gorje,
J O
like
R
this,
G
yeah.
E.
Lupin, like Arsène Lupin.
Okay.
Okay, great. Now you go on his channel. Go on his channel. You go on videos. Then you classify by the most ancient.
I'll just subscribe as well while I'm at it. Most ancient?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like
The
you
oldest
can
video,
do
you
that.
mean?
Yeah, you can classify it so it go, oldest ones,
Ah, yeah,
and
yeah,
you just like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then?
okay, let's go to the fourth, the fifth one. The one under this one.
This one.
Yeah, this one. And there's no sound, so we can go through it with no the you can like um just go frame by frame, like you can do that with your yeah, like this. So go back. So here we talk about abjad already in the beginning, just before that.
The signs of the Arabic letters, abjad in
So
geometry.
so this guy is a Spanish guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he just perpetuating the Andalu. He's a sculptor.
Mm.
He's perpetuating the art of mosaics like
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
and
He's
he's studying
preserving
the
them, you mean?
Arabic. Yeah, he's studying the Arabic mosaics and what they have left.
Mm-hmm.
They have left this beautiful art. Look at this beautiful art, bro.
Yeah.
Always fractal art.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it's fractal art, and him as a reproducer, he learned how to reproduce it with the right proportions.
Mm.
But that's difficult,
Mm.
okay? And he found out something amazing. You can go further. He found out, entering a Sufi shrine, how to do it.
How to
You
do
can
what?
go further. Look how beautiful is that art.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's perfect art.
Yeah.
It's when the creation go further than the creator. When the men do something beautiful than him, you
Mm.
can go further. Look the letters. It's the abjadic system. So you have alpha, beta, all the letter lam. He's showing how it works. It's gematria in Arabic,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's how the ancients were doing it. It's very big in the Islamic culture, the gematria.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Today it's forgotten because it was classified as magic and very repressed in these 15 years, but 50 years. But before it was very big, and
Yeah.
today because it was classified as magic, so today it's a bit harder to go to find a way to learn to everything, and so you can see you can go further and further. Um, Here we see all those, you can see all those beautiful, and I think it's good
But
to
yeah.
for you and me to look at all those beautiful things. Now he's talking about the square,
Okay,
why
but
the square is important.
yeah.
Hmm?
But what was this big discovery now?
Yeah, so you can see here he has showed you one of the biggest symbol of Islam, which is the symbol you just see right now.
It's an octagon, basically. One, two,
Yeah,
three.
and it's a square at 45 degree and
Yeah.
on another square.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the eighth star.
Yeah.
Very, very deep symbol, Islamic symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go. You're gonna see it's about magic squares
Mm-hmm.
and how he found out to reproduce the proportion. It's just to show you a bit. You can go maybe 20 minutes. You can go maybe more faster. I'm gonna show you now. He's showing like stuff about
The
proportion. It's all
octagonal,
based.
the
It's
dome
all.
of the rock.
It's every time is based on symbols that are really ancient. You
Yeah, of course.
understand?
Mm-hmm.
He don't reproduce like fake stuff. He reproduce like on the most ancient mosques and shit.
Yeah.
And you can maybe go on another video. Maybe it's not on this one, or go on the end. Maybe go on the end of the video. Here we show you the amazing art, how with nature, how with gematria and stuff, and the words of like the words for flower. Now he show you how to construct those things geometrically. Yeah, go like that. So we just see in the little with your mouse. Go with your mouse until the end. Go. Go if you see a magic square somewhere. No, so go on another video like the ancient one, like we have done
Mm.
already. We're gonna
Oh
find
wait.
it's because it's on
Oldest.
older ones. Yeah, and go Los Wafak, first one, like under this one. No, like
Ah, this one.
yeah, those ones,
Ah,
like
Quadrados
anyone.
Mágicos. Yeah, he says it already. This is about the magical squares.
So go on more.
Okay, Arabic
Yeah,
Sudoku.
yeah, yep. Stop here. So this is the a big important magic square.
Mm-hmm.
It goes from 1 to 9 and from 1 to 9. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's a magic square core. Every part is equal 45. Okay, when you do a line, when you do a column, 45. 45 is the when you do 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus until 9. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
so he found out to have the right proportion to reproduce the symbols, he needs to draw them on a matrix with this magic square.
Mm-hmm.
So go further, you can go further. It's the only way he can reproduce what is on those mosques. He's showing the proportion. You can go further, and at the end he constructs. You can go further. I'm a drawer. You're a drawer.
I
I've,
noticed. A drawer is not the
I've
right
done it.
word. The drawer is like how do you say that? Wait, I'll show you what a drawer is. It's
Yeah,
just
let's
funny.
say
I
an
use it
artist.
for fun. I used it for fun because it's a joke.
I draw
Here,
too, bro. Not
that's
as
the
good as
drawer.
you, but
That's a drawer.
okay,
An
okay,
artist is
okay.
the word. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
An artist.
I'm
I
an
do it
artist.
too. Not as good as you, obviously, but I do it a bit, and
I'm not that great either. I'm amateur.
I've played to reproduce them on a. I found, for example, with the magic square, I found with the matrix when you use that patron. we
Mm-hmm.
say patron en dessin in French. As a patron for doing your stuff, you're gonna find all the symbols of the big brands and shit. They
Yeah,
do it on
exactly.
this method.
Yeah.
And look how deep is it?
Mm. Yeah, this is
How
crazy.
profound.
I'll definitely check out
So
this
now
channel.
just to tell you how it works, you can see now you go on a mosque and you see
Mm-hmm.
this mosaic you can see on the screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah, good motifs, good arts, whatever. But in fact, it's encoding so much information in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you go back on the magic square, when you go back on the magic square, you have a form that relates numbers, and numbers equals letters.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can do sequence of numbers and letters and phrases, and it goes so deep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so it's to show how before they were encoding so much information just on little motifs like this.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. And we need to bring all that back. Start studying it again.
Yeah, this I've discovered this channel years ago, and it was made into magic and magic squares and shit, bro. I was
Yeah,
so interested.
yeah, I can imagine. All right, dude. We've been going for an hour and something now. It's
Yep,
2:30. I really need to go to bed, but I'm actually hungry, so I think I'll eat something first.
yep.
But
Me too, bro. I have
yeah, but
to
it's
go
been.
on the beach tomorrow.
Oh, really? Okay. Have fun.
Yeah,
Where are you
I
going? What beach?
go. Oh, I live scuba in Spain. I live
Ah,
scuba.
in Spain.
I go take my I like go snorkeling because I was spearfisher.
Interesting.
So I like
Cool.
go snorkel,
Yeah, yeah,
see the fish, and I'm like, bro, if I had my spearfishing license, I'll kill you right now.
yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So
All right.
okay, bro.
Yeah.
Good night. It was
Good
good.
night. It's been
And
fun, and
bro,
have fun tomorrow.
you can you can try something, bro. Amazing is
Mhm.
you use this particular magic square,
Mhm.
like this one. It's just 1 to 9, and you see how it is constructed.
Yeah.
And you play relate like all the ones or all the two or the threes.
Ah, okay. Just to draw the lines between them.
Yeah, you're gonna see amazing patterns.
Hmm. Interesting. Also,
Try it.
why are all the nines on on the edges?
Forget the nines. It's like a matrix. You forget them.
Okay.
Forget about them. It's like a line you forget about. The square become from the one to the other one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So you can nine. You know, nine is a particular number, bro.
I
And
guess.
so,
Yeah.
for example, you're gonna in the middle of that square is 72 and 27.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not
And
exactly in the middle. It's in the middle if you ignore the nines.
yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
And around it, you're gonna see how it's constructed. It's the middle.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
All right. All right. Well,
Yeah. So
I'll
bro,
stop the
so
stream
bro,
now.
you saw yeah, and 9 3 6 9s. You're gonna see, bro. You're gonna
Mm.
see.
I'll give it a go. All
Yeah.
right, man.
So bro,
It's been
let's do
fun.
that. Good night.
Good night.
You
See you
can
around.
maybe cut the last part
Ah,
and
we'll
yeah.
see. We'll see. It's already live. All right. I'll see you around, man.
Yeah, when you put it on the
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, bro.
All right. Good night, man. Bye bye.